Hey guys, it's Tori from Coffee and Colossians, and I'm here today with my friend Tamara. Hello. Tamara's actually going to be helping me out with some of my behind-the-scenes stuff this summer, which I'm really excited about.
Me too.
But we thought it would be fun for her to be in some of the videos. So I just filmed my Jesus Loving tag, and we decided it'd be fun for her to film her Jesus Loving tag, and have maybe a little bit of chit-chatty time. So, hope you guys enjoy it. Let's do this.
Get started.
Question number one.
Yes.
When did you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior?
It was actually recently. It was about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And it was kind of a process. I started getting involved in like a group in my hometown and just getting to know more Christians. And I grew up in a culturally Christian home, but never had a personal relationship with Jesus. Never really knew what that was about until I was really intentional about it, and university was kicking my butt, so I just needed something to turn to.
I can so relate to
that. And it was just this time where I was kind of had tried everything, and I was like, all right, fine, Jesus, I'll give you a shot. Like, sure, let's try this. And it was kind of like, I thought I had a funny mentality about it. I was kind of like, I had like asked Jesus to come into my life, but I felt like I had to ask over and over again, like to kind of convince him. And I don't know, it was a weird mentality. So it was kind of like first year, which is about a year and a half ago, and it was just a matter of like meeting the right people, being around the right people, and really understanding what it was all about. So,
Was the group not Campus for Christ? Hard to Change. It's the same thing. The name has changed, so it always messes me up.
It was actually another group. It was called The Common. It was.
That's from my Lakeside.
Yes.
I actually started going to Lakeside. I told you that.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation.
Yeah.
You guys haven't had this conversation, but we have.
Yeah. It's cool.
Awesome.
It comes out of a church, and it's open to everybody in the city. Kids, like high school, university, and it's just Sunday evenings, and you go. And the atmosphere there was so great, and I wasn't necessarily drawn to God or Jesus or the idea of it all. I just saw something in these people, and there was like a light in them, and I was like, why are you so happy?
I love that, because that's my favorite verse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the whole like, let others see God's light in you.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. I love when hearing about people being like, I met these people, they were Christian, I couldn't figure out what it was about them, but there was something different, and then I found out they were Christian. Like, what?
It was, no, seriously, it was like that, and I was like, I kind of was angry a little bit on the inside. I was like, why do you get to be so happy? And, like, and I was not in a good place at all, like emotionally or mentally, and so it was actually a friend that I had who I'd known for a while, but we've never really like been so close, and it wasn't until I went to that, and she was like, oh, you come here too, and it was like we started bonding, and she just started talking about it, and she's a year younger than me, and she's like so strong in her faith, and, like at this point, again, as I mentioned, I was so like helpless. I was like, okay, I need something. I'm just like I'm having such a hard time with everything. So that's awesome. It was actually church. We were talking. This has kind of been like I've been thinking about this all summer ever since school ended, and I really didn't have much to do. We were talking about. Actually, I'd heard a couple sermons about this recently. It's about how we're called to more. We're not called to just stay in our comfort zone and be mediocre and like go to church every Sunday. You park in your spot. You go to the seat that you always like to. You like talk to people afterwards. Like we're called to more. Jesus always calls us towards his love and his spirit more. And it's a good place to go to your comfort zone to like recuperate, but it's not a good place to live, and that's not what we're supposed to do. And just to reach out and find people and always be aware that the Holy Spirit is with you and guiding you.
I love that. I'm like kind of obsessed with the early church and like how that
totally.
And I just love how they worked as a body, and they did not by any means live in their comfort zone. I mean, these people were persecuted, they were treated terribly. They didn't even have a Bible back then. It was just like they knew someone or knew like or saw Jesus themselves, and they just were like so firm in their faith and just like this totally new thing, and like no one had come before them. They didn't know the standard, but they knew that they didn't want to stay in their comfort zone, and like that to me is so cool.
It's very inspiring.
Yeah, it really is. It makes you feel like as Christians we're kind of slacking off.
I think we're definitely slacking. Yeah. And like I love reading their prayers too. It's like they don't, like when we pray, we're like, I pray that he asks me out, I pray that I get a good grade and stuff. And they pray for guidance and like for boldness. Like a lot of times they don't even pray for like protection. Like, because they're like, oh, we know we're good. We've got the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, exactly. Like we just totally take it for granted.
Yeah.
But and like praying for boldness.
That's
like,
amazing.
Amazing. Like that's just not something that we ever think about praying for.
Yeah,
like
it doesn't come naturally.
No, it really doesn't. So I think that's really cool. If you want to know a little bit more about this topic, there's an awesome podcast by Stanley. There's 3 of them. It's a 3-part series called Tough as Nails. I mentioned it to you before. And I will link that down below because that talks a little bit about...
Really good.
Yeah, really, really good. Question number 3. What is the most encouraging Bible verse for you?
Know what the most
you can just say no, I don't have the most encouraging verse.
Do you have an encouraging verse?
No, there is not one. That whole Bible, that giant book that most people can't even read through because there's just that many words in it, not one. But I am a Christian.
Okay, the thing is, I think all of it is very encouraging, especially because a lot of it is like, so it's the first time for me reading a lot of it, especially with like my mindset, and I like read it, and the one thing that amazed me about reading the Bible is things that I'd never read. I would read it, and they sounded so familiar and so near and dear to my heart. Like, I had times where I read something and I like had to stop. I was like, I think I'm gonna cry. Like, and
That's
it was,
amazing.
And I'd never read them before, and I had never really thought about that concept. It's just, again, that, like, I craved love, and I read it, and, like, that's exactly what I got from it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
A very typical one, it would be, like, Psalm 23.
Yeah.
Which I didn't find yet.
That's fine. When I did mine, I know I kind of copped out and just chose my favorite verse instead of the encouraging verse.
Yeah.
But I was gonna kind of also cop out and do John 3:16.
Oh,
because I think that's like it's cliche, but it's cliche for a reason. It is such an encouraging verse. Like,
oh yeah,
this God sent His Son. Like, most of us wouldn't even give up like our left pinky for God, far less our child for like a person. And He gave up His kid for us, like set Him down here to suffer and die so that we could be forgiven for the things we did. He had nothing to do with all of the sins that we made, and He like gave that all up so that we could have everlasting life. Like, what? Like, to me, that's so encouraging to like keep going on and keep fighting, because God went through the pain and the suffering of what we've like. Our pain and suffering can't even imagine the pain, right?
It's good to know that you have a Heavenly Father. First of all, there's a God that invites you to call Him your Heavenly Father.
Yeah, exactly.
Second of all, it's insane. And second of all, that like He's not surprised by anything you're feeling or doing. Like if you're like, I did something that's like so bad, God can't even imagine. No, He can. Or I'm feeling so terrible, God doesn't even know. No, He knows. He's been through it all.
It's amazing. It really is. There's actually a verse in Mark. I just finished reading the book of Mark, and at the end of it, when Jesus is in the Garden of Gethsemane, can't say the word today. It's fine, but you know which one I mean. And there's literally a line where it kind of says that His heart broke. Yeah. Like, Jesus' heart broke. He was begging to God, and His heart just broke for all of us, broke for what He was going through. Like, if you've ever gone through a breakup, like, you know that gut-wrenching feeling. And the crazy thing is, God knows that feeling too. Yeah. Like,
it's so comforting.
Yeah.
The shortest, my favorite is the shortest verse in the Bible. He wept.
Yeah.
I like look at that. I'm like, wow, so much. Like, there's so much emotion with that context.
Yeah.
Too. But no, I completely can relate to that.
Yeah.
I don't know the question.
That's okay. You said
Psalm
Psalm
23.
23.
Yeah.
We just won't read it for you guys. Look it up. I'll link it below or somewhere here.
I feel like I'm selling
a
Car sales.
Car sales ladies for hire.
If
message
whole,
us.
Like, university thing doesn't pan out. Plan B.
I'm actually looking for a job right now, so no, I'm kidding. Who in your life do you look up to because of their love for Jesus?
I'd say my mom. Quite cliche, but as I mentioned, I grew up in a culturally Christian home. Mm-hmm. I'm from Armenia, and like some countries are culturally Muslim, Armenia is culturally Christian, and we kind of grew up in the context of, oh, we're Christian, we're so great, we're so, like, we've got this all figured out, but we really didn't, and I didn't know what it was about, neither did my family, and it was about 5 or 6 years ago, my mom really got into it, and she just started reading her Bible every day, and she would listen to just messages every day, and she was so, like, into it, and like 2-3 years later her faith grew so much and she got baptized, and it just inspired me so much. Mm-hmm. And even to this day, and she is a very tough lady, and she's just so strong. She's had a lot of like hardships throughout her life. We moved here when I was 8, and I mean, it was a really tough place to live economically, and just hearing the stories and like hearing what they went through and like how strong she was, and how much she's grown, and how much more peace and patience that she has, and like even in tough situations, like she's like one of my best friends. I could go to her, I could talk to her, and she always has something encouraging to say. So sweet.
I love that.